Finishing your songs is one thing, but do you want to take a whole year? Do you want to take 2 years? Have you had songs on the back burner for 5 years? That's not uncommon. So this isn't just about finishing your songs, but it's about finishing them just a wee bit faster. So I've got some hacks. We all love a little hack. Some things for you to think about, some things for you to take away with you, some ideas, and we're going to do a little songwriting exercise in the middle of this masterclass as well. Right, so what is currently in the way of you finishing your songs? I want you to answer me in the comments. So if you have a bit of a habit of starting loads and loads of songs, but not finishing loads and loads of songs, then what is it that's getting in the way for you? Tell me right now in the comments because I want to read them out. I want us to see that quite often it's the same things that we're all experiencing and that you're probably really never alone when it comes to what it is that you do. Peter, thinking what I do is crap. Yep, hugely common. Not really having confidence in your work. You might have confidence as a person, as a songwriter, but not having confidence in the work that comes out. That's massive. And that really does result in that. Natasha, not prioritizing your music, and there's no accountability. So there's no feedback, there's no community on that side of things, right? There's no one to be like, hey, did you do that? Emma, getting bored of it and distracted by other things. So that's like losing the momentum, right? You might be excited to start a song and you're like, oh, it gets hard. It gets boring. It really does at times. I feel you. Martina, not taking my music seriously. So that comes back to the whole not prioritizing it, not putting it as something in the kind of forefront of your life. Totally feel you. Like these are all, honestly, you're so normal. These are normal. These are completely normal and to be expected. Michaela, discipline. Yeah, the prioritization, it gets hard. Can you stick with it if you got the grit? Patricia, events in life and more song inspiration coming through. So again, that's prioritizing, deadlines, purpose. Yep. Here's why you're not finishing your songs and definitely not finishing them quickly, right? 3 common reasons that people struggle with. 1, not enough time. There's not enough time. There's a million other things happening. There's just not enough time to get the songwriting done. Number 2, you get stuck midway through the song. Just get a good start, we're excited, and then boom, kind of like floats down like a lead balloon, right? And then lack of confidence in your idea. Do you recognize yourself in these? Have we not just basically spoke about these 3 things? But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I want to put something to you. I want to put to you that these are kind of myths in a way. Now, it's not to gaslight you. You're feeling what you're feeling. Your experience is your experience. Who am I? I'm just a random Scottish little lady on the internet. What do I know? But I do want to get your mind thinking I want to try and fix this for you. Like I want to try and help you see that it's maybe not as bad as you think it is, and there's definitely a way through. So let's do a little bit of myth busting, right? So that's what we think is going on, but here's what I think is really going on from all of these years of working so closely with songwriters and getting them through these blocks. It's not that there's not enough time, it's that you just haven't built in a routine in your life for songwriting that feels good. So tell me in the comments, hands up if you've done the thing like, okay, I'm going to write every single day for like 30 minutes a day. I'm going to make it a big part of my life. I'm going to put it in, and then after like a week or 2 weeks, it just disappears, or you literally forget about it one day. Or maybe like, I'm going to write this album, right? I'm going to do an album. Okay, great. I've got the plan. I've got the album plan. I'm going to write 20 songs. I'm going to choose 12 of them. All of that stuff. But actually, it's not about the fact we don't have the time for the album or we don't have the time to write these songs. It's just that we didn't build a routine around it. And anything else you have in your life has a built-in routine, even brushing your teeth, right? So we just need to find a way to do it that feels good to us. Maybe it's not an album for you. Maybe you're a mum or a dad and you've got kids and you've got a busy 9 to 5 job and you're fitting this around your life. So maybe it's actually a single or an EP. Maybe it's not quite an album yet. Maybe the album's still to come. But if we jump in there, we're going, I'm going to do this album, I'm going to do it right now. Of course, we don't have enough time. So it's about building in something that feels good to you. I've also worked with lots of people who are neurodiverse or people who have disability, chronic pain. Again, it's about looking at your routines in your life and how we can fit songwriting in there that feels good to you, because my life will look nothing like yours and yours will look nothing like someone else's. We might have very similar things in our lives, but no two lives are the same. Okay, here's the second like myth bust, right? You're getting stuck halfway, you're losing that momentum. That's not what's really happening. What's really happening is you just don't have those songwriting skills, tools, and techniques to jump into to help you solve those problems. When you get stuck on the second verse, tell me in the comments, just say me if you get stuck on the second verse. If you get to that second verse, you're like, oh shit, I've literally said everything that I want to say. There is a technique for that. There's a tool for that. There's a skill set to learn around that. And so you can learn that stuff. And basically, this getting stuck midway or losing the momentum in the middle, really what that means is we need to build a toolkit, a box of helpful problem solving techniques that we can go to when we get stuck. Because songwriting isn't always going to feel like this romantic, flowing, artist. It's not always going to feel like that. It's a craft. It's an art form. And pretty much every art form that human beings have practiced and do practice on this planet has some form of technique behind it. So that's the second myth. You're not really getting stuck. You're not really losing the motivation or the momentum or feeling like it's too much. It's just that you've not built up this catalog, structure, techniques that I have. What songwriting tools are there out there that I know that will really help me get around this little point that I'm stuck in. Myth 3 is you think your ideas are shit. You don't have confidence in your ideas. But I just want you to rethink it. Is it that you think your ideas are shit? Or is it that you're sitting doing it on your own? Just you, yourself, and you, me, myself, and I, going around and around and around and around. And then all the little voices, then our critic, everything creeps in, and we just don't have another literal human being to bounce the idea off of and to be like, I'm stuck with this. I don't know if this is worth it. I don't know if this is crap. Can you give me some feedback? Or what do you think about this? Can I get another point of view on this? How does this sound to you? As soon as we add in another human being to the mix, the most magical tool in your songwriting toolkit is other people. And it's not even necessarily collaborators. It's just the energy of another living, breathing, heart beating human being to listen to what was inside you and to just give it back from their point of view. Feedback is so crucial. I personally think it's one of the most powerful things that's going to make you a brilliant songwriter is being open to feedback and seeking it out from the right places. You don't want to just put it up on the internet and let the internet tell you. That's a great way to stop songwriting, by the way. Be careful. But when you're in that writing process and you're really, really wanting to grow, but I want to put it to you that if you're just doing this on your own and you've been doing it on your own for a relatively long time, you spend the majority of it on your own. What Natasha said too, there's no accountability there. There's just no one to bounce it off. That's actually what's happening. You need a feedback loop doing this, folks. It's art. Music is art. We're making art, and art, for the majority of us, we want to share it. And to share it, we need to get into that zone of being able to bring in other people's energy. Doesn't mean you need to change it all, but it can be what makes or breaks that particular song for you, how you feel about it. As we're chatting, I want you to really, really think about this today. You really think about what's getting in the way truthfully. Now we've looked at the myth busting. So the first thing that comes up when you say, oh, it's not priority in my life, then we want to ask why, and just keep asking the word why until you get to the root of the problem. Oh, because I haven't actually got a routine to fit it into my life. Or maybe it's I've taken on a bit too much. I need to minimize my day or my weekly amount of songwriting, and then it's going to work. We really need to be very critical about what we're telling ourselves, the stories in our heads as songwriters, because look, without getting too like activisty, that world out there will give you an unbelievable amount of reasons to stop writing songs. That world out there will tell you over and over again that you're too this or too that or not enough or too old or you're too young or you need to be famous or no one's ever going to listen, blah, 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 blah. You're never going to succeed. That's not you saying that, right? That's that world saying that. So when you have these inner narratives of why this is hard, why I'm not doing it, why I even want to do it. We're going to get to that later. We've got to be really critical of that voice. Why it's important to finish your songs. Let's get into this. A lot of before these hacks come in, the whole point of talking about this though is 9.999 times out of 10, the issue is so simple, but it leaves us feeling so void of the art and the music that we want to make. To switch that around and to move that around quite often can be quite simple. Not necessarily easy, but it's simple. And so that's why I set up with this. And before we go into those hacks, so that when we start writing songs, we've remembered all this stuff. Finishing songs is crucial. Unfinished ideas do not lead to opportunities. And I don't mean necessarily like getting a record deal. I just mean you having the opportunity to grow as an artist. You having the opportunity to actually see yourself in your own work. You having the opportunity to take an idea and see it through to the very end, because it deserves that and you deserve that. I also do mean opportunities to let other people hear your work, opportunities to let someone else have a brilliant emotional experience because you wrote a song that resonates with them. So tell me in the comments, I just want a number. How many unfinished song ideas do you have right now? How many unfinished song ideas do you have right now? And just think about every one of those unfinished ideas being a closed door to an opportunity. And sometimes, again, like I said, 9 times out of 10, that opportunity is an internal thing. It's a growth thing. It's a human thing. But also, it is an outside thing. You're never going to get anyone saying, oh, hey, do you want to talk to me on this radio show? Oh, hey, can I play your song on my podcast? Oh, hey, do you mind writing me a jingle? Because I heard all these other ones that you've done and they were great, right? Okay, so finishing your songs means 1, 2, or 3. I want you to think about who you are when I say these out loud. What one of these 1, 2, or 3 do you resonate the most? Number 1, you can express yourself fully by finishing your songs. That's what that means. For many of you, it's creating music in a way to show the world who you truly are. It's about saying, this is me. Number 2, this other kind of person wants to be a music artist. So they want to put their music into the world. They want to get on Spotify, on Bandcamp. They want to release music. They want to connect with an audience. They want it to not just be now that inner world and that place that they get to have that private experience. They also want to share some of that with other people. And then number 3 is the kind of person who wants to go and pursue a career as a songwriter. So they want to write for other artists. They want to write for TV, for film, for sync. They want to be in the room. They want to collaborate. They want to use songwriting as a way to pursue a career of some kind. So that's taking it into a whole other level as well. That's taking it into the professional realm. So which of these would you say represent you the most? I'm calling the first one a creative soul. Are you the creative soul? And that's why you mainly want to write songs? Are you a music artist? You want to go and share them with other people? Or are you want to be a pro songwriter? Or are you a mixture? Are you 1, 2, and 3? So actually, whatever you've chosen, however you see yourself in these 3 people, I also want you to know that this is incredibly fluid, and all of it relies on one thing and one thing only: that you finish your songs, and that you finish a lot of songs, because that's how you get better at writing songs, is by finishing songs. I know it sounds really simple, but it is literally just that. You write a lot of songs. You get over each individual hurdle as it comes. You get better, like practicing the piano or practicing your vocals. When you hit a snag, you go into a place of learning. You go into a place of technique. You go into a place of understanding the craft, and then you learn and you get over that snag. You come back out and you continue. So let's get into these hacks, right? 3 essential hacks for finishing songs. And I want you to think about this as doing it the smarter, easier way. So it shouldn't be so heavy, so burdensome. I want this to be fun for you. I want you to enjoy writing songs to the point where you're literally like, I can't wait to get home to finish this song. So let's look at hack 1. The first hack is we need to get clarity on exactly which song to finish first. So I'm going to show you a very simple system. It's going to take a little bit of time and a little bit of effort, but the payoff for this is absolutely massive. So this is about us deciding on which song to finish next. I want you to feel more in control of this, in control of that number. Often we get overwhelmed by how many unfinished songs we've got and we go, oh, or I feel like a failure and I've not finished any of them. So to beat this, we need to do an audit of our song ideas. I hate that word. It makes me think of the tax man. But anyway, step one, I want you to collect all of your ideas into one place. That means going around your house and pulling out every lyric book you've got with unfinished work. Going into that horrible mountain of voice notes. Scattered scraps of paper, which please tell me you don't have like the back of envelopes. If you do, we're going to change that right now, right? You're going to make a list. So I want you to first step, go and get everything together. Get excited about it, right? I'm going to go and start getting organized with this stuff, right? I'm going to go and get everything together. Put it on the coffee table, put it on the kitchen table. Everything, everything. And then you're going to take an afternoon or a whole day or a weekend. And you're going to go through every single idea, make a list of every idea you've got. Now, for many of you, you've got song idea one, song idea two, right? We're not going to do that anymore. Every song idea you write, I want you to give it a title, just a working title. It's not probably not going to be the finished title, but just a working title that sort of encapsulates the vibe, the feeling that you've got. Right? For those of you who work from titles, you've already won a watch with that one. But if you're like me, I never write the title first. Sometimes I do, but rarely. I need to name them. So give them an identity, even if it's literally just a couple of bars of an idea. Give it a name. Give it a cool name. Then step three, you're going to record everything. So that means all your voice notes, they're already there. They're already recorded. All of your lyrics, I want you to actually talk them out loud using your mouth. Make noise and do it into your phone. So each lyrical idea gets a voice note with a name, with an identity. So then you're left with, for some of you, unfortunately, 400 voice notes. For some of you, 20 voice notes, 6 voice notes, 10 voice notes. Do as much as you can with what you've got. Then, once you've got that all down in one place, you've got them all recorded, everything, all of your ideas, I want you to go and listen to them. Passively, go for a walk, relax with your headphones. Just go and listen to them, just let them flow over you. And then as you're doing it though, you're going to kind of give each one a score. So you might want to go for a listen. Like I like to lie on my bed and listen to music. Brings me back to my teenage years where I had all my Boyzone posters on the wall. I lie in bed, listen to music. Maybe do that one time. Might take you an hour. Nice long hour walk if you can. Then do it again with a pen and paper in your hand, and you're just going to score your ideas. I just want this to be your initial reaction to each song. And each song gets 2 scores. Score number 1 is how excited are you about the idea? Just if you've got that, like, tell me, do you understand what I mean when I say that bubbly feeling inside? When you hear a song idea and you actually really like it and you can't stop playing it and you think it's probably the best idea you've ever written. Do you know that feeling? It's like excitement. It's like giddiness almost. Do you get that? All I can explain is like a bubbly feeling. So you're going to get a little scoreboard like this. Song ideas, titles on the left, the excitement you have for the song in the middle, and how far the song has progressed at the side. And then it would have a final score. The ideas with the highest combined scores are the ones that you should focus on first because they're either the ones closest to being finished or they're the ones that you're the most excited about. Even if you wrote it 2 years ago. If you still have an excitement for that idea, that is going to help you a lot. That's a great energy to have. And just forget the rest. Give yourself 3. I think there's 5 here. Give yourself these 5 and that's it. You only work on those 5 until those 5 are done. And that's you. Forget the rest until those 5 are done. We need to find a way to make these decisions as easy as we possibly can because that decision should not be the reason that your songs aren't finished. Here's a pro songwriter mindset. Every song idea is worth finishing. Should I finish it? Should I not finish it? The answer is just always yes. Just finish it. That's literally the only job you have as a songwriter is to write songs. Every song is worth finishing. Okay, let's go. Hack number 2. This hack is about keeping the momentum going. So for those of you that get halfway through the song and you're just like, oh, This is hard. I can't do this. I need you to remember why. I need you to remember why you're doing it in the first place. We get into this all the time with songwriters when I work one to one with people, when I work with people inside the academy. The first thing that we do is look at who you are, what your values are, who you are as a person, what's important to you, what's your artistic message, right? When you're going to write like an EP or a bunch of songs, 4 songs, let's say you want to write a 4 song EP and you want to get it out into the world, or at least you want to just complete it by the end of this year. Very doable, but it's going to get hard at some point. So we need to go back to who am I? Why is this important? Those of you that just done the authentic songwriting experience, you will have done the creative compass. We made a compass of our 4 main values as artists and as songwriters so that we can move forward with that compass in mind. So remembering your why. Once you've chosen a song to work on from your list that you've just done in your system, it's going to be with you now till the end of time. The next challenge is to maintain that momentum. Songwriting is fun until it gets hard. It's kind of like everything in life, right? Think of anything new. You started crocheting. I started roller skating and then it got really hard really fast. Have I went back into those roller skates in a whole year and a half? Have a hell. So it got really hard. And I realized I was really bad at it. But it's like everything new. Some things you're going to stick to. I hope songwriting is one of them. You're all here. It's fun until it gets hard, and that's when many people stop. To keep going, you need to remember why you're doing this in the first place, because different to roller skating, I didn't have any passion, creative-based reason why. I just thought it looked fun, and it was fun. And it was fun until it got hard. I didn't have any other reason behind it, so I stopped. I'm probably going to try again. So what's your why? I want you to tell me in the comments, why do you want to write songs? Why is music important to you? Why do you need to do this? Tell me in the comments, and I'm going to start asking you all questions. Hopefully, like if something comes up individually to get you keep thinking. And I've got 3 questions for you as you type in, what's your why? Why are you even doing this? Why are you putting yourself through this? This is hard. I feel vulnerable. I feel like everybody's going to know exactly how I feel. I feel like people are going to judge me. I feel like I'm telling myself I'm shit at this. Why am I even doing this? Why? Why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? Why is this important? So here are some more questions to get further into that why that you can ask yourself after the masterclass is over. What would life be like without songs? Imagine. Have you ever watched a movie that doesn't have music? There's a few movies, and it was an artistic decision to not have music because of how stark and disjointed and cold it feels. Ask yourself, what have songs done for you in your life? The songs of your own and the songs of others. What has it brought you? What has it done for you in your life? And then lastly, do you believe, and that's just a yes or no, and you can answer this right now, yes or no in the comments. Do you believe that your songs can have the same impact on others as songs have had on you? Okay, acrostic. Okay, songwriting technique. Very simple, really useful for when you're stuck, particularly on things like that second verse. Acrostic. So this is using the first letter or syllable of a word of each new line will spell out a word. So for example, this is an example that spells out passion. Passion. Push through the doubt. Let your heart sing. Always believe in the power that you bring. Stories unfold in this rhythm of life. Sounds of your soul, they'll cut through that strife. In every note, there's a dream to pursue. Open the door to the artist in you. Never give up. Let your passion shine through. So this is passion. It's about passion. You can do this with any word at all. And it's great because it's kind of like a game. It's kind of like a crossword puzzle. You just got to search either your own vocabulary in your brain or go and jump on something like rhymezone.com. Great tool for songwriters. Brilliant. I do not think it's cheating in any way, shape, or form. And find these words, find these cool, wonderful words that could kick off the narrative or kick off the line. But again, think about it more like an exercise. More like an exercise, like a technique, a tool. And from this, you will spark inspiration. From this, a new idea will come. It's literally connecting dots in your brain so that you're not just sitting there being like, I don't know what to write for that second verse. I'm stuck. I've said everything I want to say. No, that's not how we do it. We got to always have momentum. We always get energy. We're always moving forward. Use the tool. Use the technique. It gets you unstuck. It gives you some push. It's like pushing that car. before you can catch the engine to restart the car when the car has stalled or broken down or whatever, the battery's died. You've got to push it. You've got to get some momentum. That's what these tools do. It's like the person at the back of the car, just giving the car a little push, and you're trying and trying and trying and trying and trying, and then eventually, there you go. The engine's back on, the battery's getting charged, and you're going to start making some more progress. That's what these tools are. Use them. Get somebody to push that car. Don't sit there in a dead car trying to turn the engine on. It's not going to work. Use these tools. It means you've got to go up into your brain to do something that is ultimately creative and start to bridge the gap between inspiration, intuition, passion, talent. Bridge the gap between talent and skill, and you're an unstoppable songwriter with loads of finished songs. If you can bridge that gap, we've all got talent. All of us. We're all here because we followed some kind of talent here. Do we all have skill? That's something you can learn. Okay, last hack. You're going to cut out the chaos and get organized. Because look, when we were saying we're losing momentum, we don't have routines, we don't have structure, we've got a lot of overwhelm. Let's get organized. We don't want chaos in our lives. We don't want chaos. There's enough of that outside the door. So you're not going to make progress on these ideas if they're scattered, disorganized. We've looked at part 1 of how to organize them, but this is when you finish your songs, you need a place to store them in an organized system so they don't get lost and they don't get forgotten. And you can easily access them. For example, if you're going to do a record, write an album, if you want to share them with someone, if you want to pitch them to people. I've been talking to a lot of people this week about publishing. If you want to do anything like that, anything at all, even if you just want to be able to sit back and look at all the songs you've finished to remind yourself, you can do this. It's okay to do this. And here's your evidence and your proof that you truly are a songwriter. We all need that. We write songs and they disappear into the ether, or they're in that notebook with all the unfinished songs. No, your finished songs need a place to go. They deserve a place to go. So I've got the Song Progress Tracker. It's a tool. It's absolutely free. And you can grab it. I'm going to put the link in the comments. You can grab it as soon as we're done. And inside the tracker, there's also a video that talks you through how to use it. But I want you to use this, and I want you to put all of your finished songs into there. You'll see inside the Song Progress Tracker, there's 2 tabs. One is your song catalog. That's all of your finished songs, right? The Song Progress Tracker is where you put those 5 songs that you've nominated from hack number 1. You're going to put them into this tracker, use it. So the song tracker is where you track the progress of each individual song. The song catalogue is the list of finished songs that you have. That's the difference between those 2 things. So you use the tracker. When a song is finished, you move it from the tracker into the catalogue. And that's it. It's just one online document that you can keep forever and just keep adding and adding and add to. It's one place. And you can add links in there. You can use the Google Drive, which is free with a Gmail account. You can upload your song ideas into your Google Drive and then link that idea into your tracker. It's amazing. And then you just literally click it and you go to the idea. You just click it, you hear the finished song. If the song is out in the world, you'll see I put an example of one of my songs. If it's out on Spotify, you put Spotify link there. If someone's like, oh, can I hear some of your songs? You just go to your catalogue, you choose what one you want them to hear. Brilliant. You can add things into, you can add years, dates, collaborators, all of that stuff. So go for it, grab it, and that's going to help you stay organized. When you feel organized, you're going to feel so good. I hope that this masterclass brought you to a place to really see that when it comes to your music making, finishing songs in particular, when it comes to finishing songs, it's not about just sitting there and struggling through and sort of waiting for something to come to you. There are so many things you can learn that will help you get to that space of finishing way more than what you are right now so that you can get to the next level. Remember the why, remember those huge reasons, those very, very real emotional, spiritual connection, other people, who I am, I get to say, who I am and why that's important to me and all that stuff. That is what your songwriting is all about. So keep in your why. Remember, go and grab the Song Progress Tracker. I'm sending you lots of love and light, lots of light, and I will see you all soon. Thank you so, so, so much, everybody. Cheerio. Bye.